Okay, so now we are recording. There it is, a little light. So this is YouTube. Hello, YouTube people. For us, people are live. We are recording this. It's going to be aired as soon as I figure out how to get it onto the YouTube channel, which won't be that long.
Oh no, this isn't going to air for like a year now.
No, I'll get it. I'm good. I'm actually all right with that. So this is Mark Torres. I'm host of the Came From Radio. We have our very own Pronto Comics, Dominic Definition Mascherano.
What up, dog?
We have from The Life with Jenner G, Jen Elise Feldy.
Hello.
And we have our special guest we're going to be talking to with and about when we start the show, and that's Kelly Gordon.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
From EMcon Anime Fest, which is going to have their 10th anniversary, despite the corona apocalypse, or as my favorite comedian calls it, the Tom Hanks disease. That would be
I'm
Norm
still a fan of calling it the Kung Flu.
Ooh, Kung Flu.
I think that's the best one yet, Kung Flu.
Okay, so I'm going to start the show right now. Let me close that. Where is it?
Oh, we're still in the behind-the-scenes point of the show?
Yes, so we're going to actually start right now.
Following is brought to you in part by MFC Studios. The views of the show's host and guests do not necessarily reflect those of the management, owners, or staff of this radio station. And now, it came from the radio.
Yapatoy, and welcome once again to It Came From the Radio, the official show of the Big Apple Con. This is your host, Mark Torres, speaking with me via social distancing and I guess Zoom, because we're doing this via Zoom. Thank you of the courtesy of the East Meadow Public Library for our 30-second live show in front of a studio audience that is live. Say hi to our studio audience. Can we hear them? Yay, we got it.
Hey.
What?
Yay, all right.
You need help, Mark. You need serious help. You've been cooped up in your apartment way too long.
I am here with our very own Pronto Comics, Dominic Definition Mascherano.
Hello, fun seekers. I have to use it because Charlie's not here.
We are here with our newest co-host from The Life with Jenner G, Jen Elise Feldy.
Hi, you're on my Instagram Live.
She's not officially a co-host because we haven't put her through the rite of initiation yet.
You see, you haven't been listening to the show, but she's actually going to have a new tier on the Patreon. She's going to be $20,000.
Well, listen, that's appropriate. No one wants to spend $10,000 on me for a night, but $20,000, that's plausible.
It's not just a night. That's a completely different thing. It's we haven't figured out what it's going to be yet, but when the apocalypse is over, maybe she will take anybody to the best comic book stores in New York and the best bars, right?
Well, no, I can do that. I honestly don't think Jen knows where any one of the comic book stores in the city are.
Well, maybe it'll be a twofer. The two of you will take them out. We'll do that.
I can help them with their health if they don't feel good.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. That works.
Lifetime.
I'd actually help some coronavirus patients during this time get better. So.
Oh, good job.
Yeah. There you go.
And we have our special guest who we're going to be talking to, with, and about. It is EMcon's event coordinator for the 10th anniversary of EMcon. We have Kelly Gordon.
Hey, everyone. How you guys doing today? Hope everyone's safe and healthy.
But before we do any of that, we have to take it away with the news.
Oh, God.
The news is brought to you in part by the fine folks of the Big Apple Con, which we are the official radio show of, celebrating over 25 years of pop culture news and comic book stuff. For more information, go to www.bigapplecc.com. Hopefully, they'll have their next convention up and running sooner or later. But keep paying attention to our show and the website for more information. And I also want to give the shout-outs for our Patreons, of which there are Danny Grillo, award-winning director Jared Burrell, not award-winning Jared Burrell, award-winning director Jared Burrell, Two Sentence Horror, Kyle Horn, Millie Portes, Newsday famous Dresden Media, Unji-kun, and new father, Shadow Rabbit Art. If you want to have your own little shout-out, go to www.patreon.com. Just for $1 a month, you can get your own little shout-out on our show. So let's start off with the news. As always, we start off with the sad news.
Wait, where's the morphin time sound?
Yeah, I don't have that ready. No, I
You
don't have
have
that.
literally nothing to do but prepare for this show.
Oh, see, the problem is, being my non-technical self, is that the link didn't work, and then when I tried to save it, it had it repeated over, so it
Oh God.
wasn't working.
Oh
But
God.
if you want, I will do this. Let's see, where is it? There you go.
That's all you had to do.
Now, of course, it's not ready for the next thing I had set up, but no worries. So let's start off with the sad news. Sad news.
Who died?
A lot of people died.
Yeah.
Legendary artist
Artist?
Morris Mort Drucker died recently. As of this recording, no cause of death has been released. Mort perhaps was best known for a contributor of over 55 years in Mad Magazine, where he specialized in satires on a leading in feature films and television series with the time of his on-spot caricatures. Huh.
Huh?
No, I made a mistake, that's why.
Yeah.
You made a mistake. You made a mistake.
Yeah, this is what happens when I'm doing stuff on the fly.
Mark, you just prove how working from home is so inefficient.
Not for me. It's really, really not good.
You
All
had
right.
a whole week. Actually, no, you've had a whole month to prepare for this moment.
I had it ready, but then I didn't have it ready. Anyway,
You're
because I
human,
was
you
having
make
difficulty.
mistakes. It's okay.
All right. Sad news. Actor Rick May died recently of the coronavirus. While Rick was an accomplished stage actor, he perhaps is best known for providing the voice of Peppy Hare of the Star Fox video games series. He always says, "Do a barrel roll." That was what he was most famous for. In addition to Peppy, Rick voiced characters in such video games as Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves, Team Fortress 2, Age of Empires 2, Freddy Fish 5, and Pajama Sam 2, just to name a few.
They were classics.
Yes, he was a spry 79. So you guys are video game fans? You know Star Fox?
Nope. No, wait, Star Fox. Didn't that come out in the 90s and it was like basically Star Wars with like anthropomorphic animals?
Yes, so he was a rabbit.
Yeah, okay. No, I had played that. Yeah, that was fun. That was a good
He
game.
was a rabbit? I thought he was a fox.
No, Peppy.
No, the game was Star
Peppy
Fox.
Yes, Peppy was a rabbit. You
But
are
he
familiar
voiced
with
a rabbit.
You familiar with the rabbit, Jennifer? Okay, we'll keep on moving. He
It's
was
a radio show. You have to speak. It helps.
He was a spry 79. Now,
All right.
moving on to more sad news. Here we go. Legendary artist Mort Drucker also died recently as of the recording. See how it sounds better this way? No cause of death has been released. Mort perhaps was best known for contributing over 55 years in Mad Magazine, where he specialized in satires on a leading feature films and television series of the time with a spot on caricatures. Of note, Mort at times drew covers for Time magazine, which is now in the collection of the National Portrait Gallery. He was recognized for his work with the National Cartoonist Society Special Features Award and inducted into the Society's Hall of Fame. Mort, when asked about his career, was quoted as saying, "I just wanted to be an artist, to get paid to draw anything, and only started focusing on caricature work because I started getting more assignments. That's when I really found my calling. I try to capture the essence of a person, not just facial features. I discovered through the years of working and capturing a humorous likeness that is not just the features themselves, as much as the space between the features. We all have two eyes, a nose, mouth, hair, jawlines, but we all look different. That's what makes it about the space in between them." You guys, Mad Magazine fans?
Yeah. Space between. That's the fabric of our lives right now. The space between. That's what's happening.
Yes.
It's very sad too, because Mad Magazine satire is perhaps more truthful than mainstream media right now. So that's a big loss.
Scathing.
Jeez, I think we got a trumper.
Dominic, you're a Mad Magazine fan?
I never got into Mad Magazine.
What's up with the attitude? Why am
I
getting
just
this attitude?
never got into Mad
Dominic
Magazine.
is in the corner, so he's reaching out. It's his first time in the real
Didn't
world.
Mad Magazine like go under?
We reported that Mad Magazine stopped making new Mad Magazine magazines recently, so it's still the company I think is owned by Warner Brothers or something.
Yeah,
But
no,
they stopped making new Mad.
If it's not
Magazine.
owned by Disney, it's owned by Warner Brothers.
Yeah, but
Right, basically.
but his stuff was great. I was a huge fan of Mad Magazine, and just seeing the caricatures of the movie parodies and the satire was great. So it is sad. He was a spry 91.
Now that's spry. 79 is just approaching spry.
even more sad news moving along. And this is
Oh
the
my
final bit
God.
of sad news. Actor Daniel Goldman also died recently. Danny appeared in such films and TV shows as That Girl, MASH, Room 222, The Partridge Family, Love American Style, Needles and Pins, Columbo, Young Frankenstein, Beretta, Chico and the Man, Holy Moses, Busting Loose, Mickey Splains, Mike Hammer, Tunnel Vision, Get Smart Again, Mighty Max, not Mad Max, King of Queens, and Criminal Minds, just to name a few. Of course, Danny, for me, most memorable role was that of Brainy Smurf on the animated series The Smurfs, which ran from 1981 to 1989. He reprised the role of Brainy in numerous episodes of the television show Robot Chicken, only missing one appearance, which was the House of Smurfs in that series. Smurfs fan?
Yep, I'm
mean,
definitely a Smurf fan.
How could you not have been a Smurf fan when you were a kid?
It was the best.
I know. Although I still don't understand like what Gargamel wanted to eat them.
Well, he
Yeah.
wanted to eat them, and then he also wanted to turn them into gold.
That was never really clear so much. I always switched back
Yeah.
and forth throughout the seasons.
Yeah, because he can turn them into like powder and it was like great seasoning. I was, as we mentioned before in the live shows, I'm a huge Smurf fan. So yeah, he wanted it for both reasons, because they were tasty and he can use them for other stuff. Jennifer, Smurf fan?
Yeah, when I was younger.
So you remember Brainy? He was one with the glasses. He was like Papa Smurf. Always said
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that I remember. That's classic.
You know,
Brainy was the
Even
one.
I know that.
here's a question for you, Mark. Remember Gargamel had to create Smurfette?
Yes, Gargamel
Alright.
created Smurfette.
They always say that there was never ever female Smurfs.
Right.
So they retcon, and at the toward the end of the season, where did Grandma Smurf come from?
Exactly. That is exactly right. So there was Smurfette, which was created by Gargamel, and
Right.
then Sassette, which was also created by Gargamel because
Right.
Smurfette wanted a friend. And then that last season when they introduced Grandpa Smurf and Nanny Smurf,
Yeah, thank
apparently
you.
Nanny Smurf was the one who was going to be the caretaker for all of them because Papa Smurf couldn't handle it. But it was terrible. It was 101 Smurfs, and then they ruined it for me. That's when I stopped watching. Was when they introduced Nanny Smurf.
There is a massive logical problem of how do you have 101 Smurfs without any female Smurfs?
Well, the stork used to bring them. That was the thing.
Stork.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Good
and
question.
that's why they had baby Smurf.
Yeah.
The stork brought the baby Smurf. So the stork brought 100 Smurfs at one point in time to Papa Smurf.
Okay. But where did Papa Smurf come from?
Well, that's
He
actually
was
a good
brought to
time
the
in
stork.
quarantine. This is a good quarantine story because how are babies made? Through storks. So we could still socially distance, create more Smurfs. So that's a storyline we can probably proliferate right now.
Okay. He was a spry 80. All right, so
I
moving on.
like that one, huh, Mark?
I did like that one. We start where do babies come from during the coronavirus is
Social distancing, Smurf proliferation.
so moving on to the not as sad news
Thank God.
from the follow-up department. In a recent episode of our show, we reported that WWE had started to pre-record their shows due to the global pandemic that is happening right now. Turns out this is no longer the case, as the governor of Florida has deemed WWE to be an essential service. The order was
I mean, come
signed.
on. It's obvious. It's essential.
The order was signed last Thursday and states that employees at a professional sports and media productions with a national audience can continue only if the location is closed to the general public. WWE says, we believe it is now more important than ever to provide people with a diversion from these hard times. We are producing content on a closed set with only essential personnel in attendance, following appropriate guidelines while taking additional precautions to ensure the health and wellness of our performers and staff. As a brand that has been woven into the fabric of society, WWE and its superstars bring families together and deliver a sense of hope, determination, and perseverance. Okay.
Well, I mean, WWE is getting presidential, so Vince McMahon's now on the advisory board with Trump.
I just heard that.
Yeah, that's not a hoax, I don't believe. I think that's real. And so is Mark
yeah.
Cuban, supposedly. Mark Cuban's also on the advisory board and also an NBA leader, too.
Well, yeah, Linda McMahon is also in the cabinet.
Right.
for the small business secretary of small business or something like that. So it's not shocking. It also is not shocking that Florida deems that, because how many Florida Man articles are there coming out?
But the thing is, they could easily record shows ahead of time, which they were doing, and
Right.
still put the shows out there. So there's no reason why they have to be live, in my mind. Do you guys have anything? What would be their argument to continue to do live, continue to put people in risk, as opposed to just recording it all in one shot? Do like 5-6 weeks of shows, and call it a day.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, are they gonna be having it where people can stream and put comments in, like, and like vote for the winner or make bets? I have no idea. Why would they want to do it live? That makes sense.
I can't think of any reason at all. Can you guys, Jennifer, Dominic, think of any reason why that should be?
I don't see the point of going live unless you're going to have a live audience, and you're not going to have a live audience anytime soon.
Right.
I mean, they also did, like, I don't know if they did live but I saw some clip of Stone Cold Steve Austin going out there doing his usual thing, and he's going, "What?" And it's like, but there's no one there.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing the show with no audience for a while, and then they decided, well, things are going to hell in a handbasket, so we're going to make record shows. They even did that for WrestleMania. They recorded portions ahead of time. And all of a sudden they changed their mind and like, you know what? We're just going to start going live again every week. We're going to endanger all these people to come down every week to our place of business because we're essential, as opposed to recording it ahead of time, still getting paid money, still getting everything. There's no difference because there's no audience.
Yeah, the only reason I could see to do that is to push the narrative of reopening the nation, because that does support that narrative.
Yeah, I guess that's possible.
All wrestling is a soap opera storyline with athletic stunts. I'm not trying to minimize what the guys do. It's very, very athletic and not easily done, but that's essentially what it is. You're doing live action athletic stunts to a storyline. So there's no reason, especially if there's no audience participation happening, there's no reason why you need to go live. You might as well just pre-do everything and record it. And that way you can actually get into more interesting storylines and intrigue.
And even a higher production value, I would think.
Even a higher production value. You basically just go full soap opera into it. But, I mean, then you can take what you're doing, and it doesn't always have to be in a ring. You can have these things happening in different locations and, and like you said, go with a higher production value.
And they did have that.
An opportunity.
And they did that with during WrestleMania. They did 2 segments that were like higher quality matches. So they know it can be done, and people loved it. Like social media, they went crazy on how well it was done, so they could do it now.
I have a question. Are they going to be practicing that social distancing during the wrestling matches?
Right.
Actually, what was that, Jennifer? You mentioned that before, right?
Right, exactly.
What was it? The Bubble Boy wrestling.
Bubble Boy wrestling. Yeah, we did that the last show. Yeah. I love it. I would do it because I'm part of a wrestling federation. They want me to wrestle, but I'm a little bit OCD, so I really don't like people I don't know touching me. So if they do Bubble Boy wrestling, then I'll do it.
Wait, so you totally would do that? Bubble Boy wrestling, head to toe Bubble Boy, you would go in there right now?
Oh, hell yeah, 100%. I'll do it right now.
Right
now.
I think this is a perfect opportunity. What was that movie that
Bubble Boy
Jackman did, where he had like the robots fighting?
Chappie.
No, the other one.
Oh, that's the one I know.
The one with Wolverine in it, right? What's his name? We talk about that one with
Real Steel, right?
Real
Steel. Now is a perfect time for the WWE to get and perfect the Real Steel technology. That way you can have the people doing the moves on the outside of the ring, but the robots are actually like performing the wrestling, and therefore social distancing is adhered.
I would love to see that. That's yes.
Yeah.
So speaking of WWE, from the second time is definitely not the charm department. The XFL filed for bankruptcy this week, which spells doom for the second time, the first being in 2001, in the past 20 years. XFL says the impossibility of knowing when the pandemic would sufficiently abate and allow the league to restart only exacerbated the problems posed by the debt abrupt loss of revenue and continuing operating expenses. After considering all available strategic options, the debt and its professional advertisers determined that the best course was to preserve and maximize the value of the debitor's estate through Chapter 11 sale process. For those of you who don't know, the XFL was Vince McMahon of the WWE fame foray into professional football. As opposed to going head-to-head with the NFL, Vince decided to complement them with having football during the quote-unquote off-season. The first year flopped, and it only took 18 years for Vince to try again. Originally, when all sports stopped due to coronavirus, the XFL had initially said that they would pay everybody, all their staff and all their players, until the end of the season, and then they had planned to come back in 2021. But now they're done. So, like, for me, I think there's a sign from somewhere telling Vince McMahon to stay away from football as best as possible. Can you imagine you go through all this trouble to make the XFL with millions and millions of dollars the first time? It fails miserably.
Yeah. The games weren't bad, though. I remember watching some of the games. The games are pretty good. And the one smart thing that they did, which the NFL stole and adopted, they had their cameramen actually in like football gear to get right in there for the action, and that led the NFL to use that wire system that they use now to get close up on the plays.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a great innovation. Like, because the NFL wasn't going to put people in gear, but they had the money to come up with this new system.
Right.
Talk about bad timing, though.
Almost 20 years later, he's like, I'm going to do it again. And he put more of his own money into it this time than he did the first time around, because nobody believed that it was going to be successful. And he did it. And then this happens. Like, that's the worst luck ever. Seriously.
And it's plausible that it might have taken off now if there wasn't such a pandemic keeping people from seeing it.
You're a football fan, Jennifer?
If they play naked, I'll watch, but otherwise it's just a bunch of men I don't know in weird uniforms. So no, I don't really watch football. No.
Oh my God. That was surprising that a female would say that, but okay.
Why is that surprising?
She threw me. All right.
Okay.
That's it. She threw. It's like, I want to see naked men playing football. All right.
Yeah, then I'll watch. That'd be great. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I would not want to watch that.
Ouch.
It's not for you, Mark.
Definitely
it's for
not.
Jen.
Yes, it is. All right. So keeping on the wrestling trends, sort of, all right, here we go. Where is it? From the That's a lot of nuts department. A replica of the 1960s Batmobile has hit the market, and it's being sold by none other than WWE Hall of Famer and comic book fan artist Jerry the King Lawler. Previously on display at the Jerry Lawler Museum in Mississippi, the car comes signed by Adam West, Burt Ward, as well as Jerry and a few other celebrities. And yes, the car is street legal drivable right now. So if you have a couple of $100,000, you can get it for, $110,000 if you want to get that.
That's a steal, man. That's a deal.
I'll get it.
Yeah.
If we put all our stimulus checks together, maybe that's something we could do.
That's possible.
I think that just to have it and to drive it would be awesome. But at this time, for that amount, it's just not happening.
Well, I can tell you, Mark, if you wouldn't be able to afford this no matter what was going on. So
that's true.
You know,
I could afford I could barely afford the Matchbox car version of it.
You can't tell me the pandemic has vastly changed your finances from millions to nothing.
It has definitely not. Maybe like $2 more.
See, there you go. Personally, I mean, if I had a choice of all the Batmobiles, I would have gone the one in Batman Begins. I would have gone the Tumbler.
Oh yeah, okay. Have you ever seen that live? Like, that thing is awesome.
Why do you think I'd want to get that one?
But I mean, but like in person, like sometimes when you see things on TV, it looks cool, but then you see it in person, like, but that actually looked very cool.
It looks cool, and I saw like a documentary where they were discussing the design of the car, and because it has no front wheel axle, it was able to perform tricks like they couldn't believe.
Yes.
They just thought it was going to look cool. Then it turned out that it actually was it couldn't like jump over things and like it does in the movies, but in terms of handling, it's fantastic. They said.
See, that's the future of cars right there.
I
It's
tell
not
you
bad,
one.
Mike.
I tell you one thing, Dom. Yeah, you definitely won't have a problem finding a parking space with that.
Oh my God! No.
You just roll over the cars and just leave it there.
If there is one upshot of this pandemic, it's that parking is so easy right now, as well as the lack of traffic.
I have to tell you though, the lack of traffic, people are driving through the highways like Mad Max, man. I'm telling you. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. But hey, cops are busy. They can't pull you over right now.
The views of the show's host do not necessarily reflect do not speed. The show's. Yes.
I'm not saying anyone should speed.
You just said the cops aren't going to pull you over.
The show's saying that we love the quarantine to keep it going. That's what the show is saying, right?
Yeah. That's it.
Mark,
yes.
there was a on the news the other day. It was around East LA. There was a car chase, and it was the longest long mild car chase ever. I mean, because it was so clear on the lanes, the car was just zooming through everywhere. And I tell you this, it was so mild. The car wasn't even really racing. Other cars were actually passing by, just looking at what's going on. But there was no type of like intensity to it all. It was just driving around until the cops actually just gave up on it.
Was it another OJ chase again?
Yeah, it looked like it.
The cops are just like,
whatever.
They had enough.
Yeah, we had enough. Exactly.
It's fine. He won.
All right.
It's like the only high-speed car chase where the high speed was like 40 miles an hour because
there
was really no rush.
It's high-ish.
High-ish speed, yeah.
High-ish speed.
So let's see. For the last bit of news, although I did have one mention, so I'm going to do the mention first. So during all this Corona stuff, as people do, they tend to watch a lot more stuff on YouTube and TV and on your computer screen. So I came along a live table read of the very first episode of the TV show The Nanny. And they brought the entire cast to do the table read. And on top of that, they incorporated clips from the actual episode during the table read. It was the most amazing thing I have ever seen. And so you see Fran Drescher, and you see people who had bit parts on that one episode, the pilot episode of The Nanny, back reprising their roles. It was the most amazing nostalgia thing you can get. Is anybody a Nanny fan?
Yeah. I thought her voice was very soothing.
You thought her voice was soothing?
Yeah, it actually reminds me of my mom's voice, so I got a lot of that. I'm kind of desensitized. You would think I'd be desensitized, but I'm not. I'm traumatized.
Dominic, you're a Nanny fan?
I watched the show. It was fun. Kansas schmanza.
So so I thought that if you guys want something cool to see, just go on to YouTube, type in Nanny Pilot Table Read, and it's great nostalgia. And like I said, just the fact that they got every single cast member was the cherry on top. And did
you see the episode where she like eats a plate of wasabi and then her nostrils clear out for like 10 seconds?
And she speaks normally and slowly. Right.
Yes.
That was a good one.
So last bit of news. From the What Else Do We Have to Reboot, Remake, Bring Back department. Warner Brothers Animation has announced that it is looking to bring back the Animaniacs with the original voice cast. For those of you not paying attention, the series first hit TV screens 27 years ago on the now defunct WB channel and followed the adventures of Yakko, Wacko, and Dot as they ran around the Warner movie lot. Actor Rob Paulsen, who played Pinky in the series, says, "It's impossible to quantify what a compliment that is. Moreover, to be able to do it again. With Maurice, Tress, and that's Maurice is the brain of Pinky and the Brain. Tress McNeil. Jess Harnell is the other brother. Play Wacko, Yakko, and Dot are back, and so are Pinky and the Brain. Moreover, in this era of celebrities doing a lot of animated characters, I get why producers do it. I totally get it, but I'm also know that just having a movie star doing a talking chicken doesn't mean that the show's going to be a hit. You have to have a good script, great characters, terrific actors, whether they're celebrities or not." So, yay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
You were a fan?
Oh, yeah. I loved the Animaniacs. I love the anime. I love Pinky and the Brain. One of my favorite things was, and I didn't even had seen the movie, they had Good Feathers, where they did like rip-offs of The Godfather.
The Goodfellas.
Yeah. And like anything, like one guy who basically was doing the Henry Hill character is like, he would tell, it was Pesto or something, and then Pesto would just go into the, I'm funny? What do you mean I'm funny? But for anything. He's like, Pesto, you're an honorable guy. What do you mean I'm honorable? Like, constantly. And I didn't get it until I actually finally saw Goodfellas later. Man, that was good. That was funny.
So as for not getting it, I used to watch it, and they did a whole production of Les Miserables. And I had never seen Les Miserables. So when the guys
put in some like highbrow stuff, like some adult stuff.
Yeah,
into that show.
It was real good.
I remember they called him Runt Val Runt, and I thought it was a funny name, but then I was like, oh, I get it now.
Like they had something where the Dot and Yakko and Wacko were detectives, and they said, Yakko tell Dot, like, I need you to dust for fingerprints, and she's then holding Prince, the artist formerly known, and she's like, no, fingerprints, and she's like, I don't think so, Yakko.
Sorry, honey.
I used to love to watch it right after Tiny Toons. That was like my power hour right there.
Oh yeah.
That was good.
Tiny Toons was good too.
Cartoons were good back then, man.
So that's it for the news. So we're going to take our break. Hopefully this works, and we'll be right back with It Came From the Radio.
Hey everybody, this is Todd McFarlane of the record-setting Spawn comic series. And if you're looking for any kind of cool conversation about creators, about entertainment, about all that good stuff, you go to It Came From the Radio. You're listening to the right spot.
Hi, you've heard my voice open and close the show. Now we want to hear your voice. If you have a business or product, you can record a commercial here. We offer 30 and 60-second spots. For more information, contact Mark at mfc_studios@hotmail.com.
This is Quentin Flynn, a popular voice actor known for Axel, Timon, and Raiden from the Metal Gear series. And you're listening to It Came From the Radio. Stick around.
Hey guys, this is Christy from Custom Cakes by Christy. I want you to know that I'm here for you. I'm keeping my private kitchen open for any needs your family may have. I've been focusing on breads, soups, muffins, quiches, and other basics, but I'm still accepting dessert orders as well. Please follow my Facebook for immediate pickup items, private message me for custom orders. Custom Cakes by Christy, INC, KRISTY. Text me at 631-606-8166.
Hey, I'm Mike Kingston, the writer and creator of Headlocked. And I am WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler. And guess what you're listening to? You're listening to It Came From the Radio.
Hi, this is Amy Jo Johnson, writer-director from the film The Space Between, and you're listening to It Came From the Radio.
Meet Grimlock having fun on It Came From the Radio. Meet Greg Berger also.
Now, back to our show.
And welcome back to It Came From the Radio, official of the Big Apple Con. Your host, Mark Torres, speaking for our 30-second live show via social distancing, courtesy of the East Meadow Public Library, with our very special guest, Kelly Gordon, who is in charge of the EMcon Anime Fest. I'm also here with Dominic Definition Man Serrano and the Life of Energies, Jen Elise Veldy.
I just want to say, because you mentioned Jerry the King Lawler in the news, I'm very happy you played the Jerry the King Lawler drop.
That was on purpose. Yay, me.
Well done, Mark. You have half forgiven yourself for not being able to see you.
So we are here talking. I would have hit the applause button, but I'm ready for something else.
How much do you miss GHR right now, dude?
I do. I miss the buttons. I miss the buttons a lot.
I miss GHR so much.
So, Kelly.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi.
You have been a guest on the show quite many times. We've called you a friend of the show, and you also work at the East Meadow Public Library. And we've talked about how you decided 10 years ago to decide to make a convention. With everything going on, what's going on with the 10th anniversary of the EMcon?
All right. Well, Mark, I understand just the pandemic that's going on in our community, cross country, and things of that nature. What I'm looking to do is I'm basically going to postpone any type of like in-house showing. But what I want to do is I want to still keep the hype alive and also still engage in our community with a more of a positive environment still for those who are still in quarantine and trapped inside their homes and whatnot, let's say, and convert MCon to be more of like a virtual set, meaning that we'll still try to have like our ongoing programming, probably Viva Zoom or something to do on fact or maybe on Facebook Live, something like that, and people can enjoy the programs comfortable in their own homes. So we actually will be able to like bring the home entertainment to them.
So why? I mean, obviously this is the only option available to you to go digital, but what's the logistics behind it? Because this isn't obviously something that's really easy to do. Why decide to take the brunt and decide to go digital at all, as opposed to let's just shut it down, let's just take a break and then come back even stronger?
Well, you see, that's the thing. Life still has to go on, Mark. I mean, even though we're going through all this, I get it. But I think things like this, we need to like move forward. Like as humans, we have to learn to adapt to our surroundings. So by adapting, meaning if we have to go follow the trend and pretty much go set forth into the technology field of it all, we have to follow along and keep it moving so everybody else can still be able to enjoy the fun facts of information and programs that we provide. Even with the library where I work at, we're doing still programming outside of MCon. We're doing exercise for seniors. We're doing story time for the children. We're having projects for the teenagers, all Viva Zoom conference, just as we're doing right now. And I think it's something that's very important. With people who cannot leave outside or need something to do, they need some kind of activity to be taking care of them while they're home.
So Jennifer, since I've been there many times and Dominic has been to the MCon many times, this was going to be your first time going, and you were going to get all dressed up. You were excited about it, but now you can't. So do you have any questions about what MCon is for Kelly?
No, but I have to commend you guys on still doing videos to entertain. My mom's a librarian for schools in Faucet Library, and she's still doing videos. So it's really important that there's someone there to read for people and to reach out, even if it's virtually. So good job.
Thank you. And not only just if on the entertainment value, we also provide like information that so they can know what's going on in their community, different websites to go to so they can be provided with information about what's going on with the coronavirus and things of that nature, and also intel about things to do and how to help themselves stay healthy and also mentally all right in this trial times for ourselves. So I'm thinking like, instead of just saying, no, we're not going to do MCon this year, I still want to postpone it. And hopefully when all this is all cleared up, we can still obviously do our live shows in a building, in a library, things like that. But I still feel that for our demographic target audience, they still need some kind of positive in themselves where they can actually have something to look forward to and still enjoy the same entertainment that they always look forward to every year that we've been doing for the past 10 years.
Definitely. And I'd be happy to contribute too. I teach health and fitness, and I do voiceover. I can read stories, whatever. I mean, I'm kind of busy, but I'm very happy to help.
I appreciate that. We definitely could talk afterwards.
Yeah.
So Dominic, since, as I've mentioned, you have been there, why don't you give the audience, and if you also have a question for Kelly, you may ask that as well, but give them the idea from your perspective of what MCon was.
Well, I've done a lot of what you could call quote unquote library shows for Pronto Comics, and MCon is easily the single best library convention I've ever been to. It's very well run. It takes up the entire library and then goes outside under a great tent. You have some really good local talent there. You can get some really cool art there. There's a great cosplay contest. I personally have always enjoyed the samurai that shows up and does demos. I always thought that was really cool. So it's a really well-run, tight, organized con for a library. It's really well done. My big question is, like, how do you plan on trying to take that and translate it to like Zoom? Yeah, that sounds like a massive undertaking to me.
Well, yeah, I appreciate the compliments from you guys, and thank you for that. And I have to say also, just to say from what you have commented, I may be the coordinator of EMcon, but it is a team effort. I have to thank everybody who pushed me and helped me out to make it exceed to these levels. Everybody in our office and from the library to the workers, to the staff, to the administration, they believing in me to move forward with this project, and I'm so happy that how successful it has been. And our biggest intake was actually over 4,800 patrons over a weekend.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm very fortunate for having everybody to have my back on this and to move forward onto this. And I understand what you're saying, Dominic. It is kind of a massive intake to try to control of, especially such a short period of time. Now this is what I'm looking to do. I still want to keep the same date within May 16th and the 17th.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I still wanted to keep that same date since everybody had it in their mind. That's when the original EMcon date was going to be at. And such as we're doing now, we're talking together on the Zoom program and on this video chat. I'm looking to deliver something where we'll have like a scheduled format of Zoom conferences down the line between that week, those 2 days of the weekend, and people could come and interact, and be able to enjoy some nice workshops, some Q&As, some lectures about cosplaying. I'm thinking, yes, go ahead.
Lending more to like the panel aspect of the con.
Right, most definitely.
Okay.
And I'm also looking to maybe hopefully offering like a digital artist alley, where because I still want to take care of me being an artist outside of my 9-to-5 job. I do the conventions and whatnot, and I know a lot of people in my field, in my circle, that I feel like they could really need the money right now to be able to allow to come in and be able to promote themselves and hopefully get like some clientele for themselves and some pocket money to help pay those bills, since everybody's going to be like the economy's going down a little bit during this pandemic. So it's not only just that. I find the library is the central station of the community, where we actually have to like try to provide and help produce these things for our community, as you talk about what our local talents involved into this program as well. So any artist that's listening to this, I'm hoping that they could get in contact with me, reach out to me. They can even message the EMcon Facebook page, and that's EMCON Anime Fest. And if they are interested in participating in that and be able to want to be promoted and sell their artwork, they can. I would definitely down for that. And also the talent that we had scheduled for our next convention, I also want them to partake in this as well. And Michelle Natso, who was also voice actress for Pokemon from Jessie Team Rocket, she was very nice enough to even offer her services to us to do a nice Q&A for our patrons who are stuck at home and talk about all Pokemon lore if they want to. So I'm really grateful for her for volunteering herself for that. I'm looking to have some artists do some workshop with the teens and kids, teach them how to do some drawings. Want to talk to some cosplayers, maybe Rizuki, talking to Rizuki cosplay. Maybe she want to do like a cosplay workshop and talk to those who are stuck at home making their costumes now when conventions do back open up, things like that. So I really looking at this as a positive thing, and I'm hoping that others will see it as well. And take advantage of it, please.
Sounds like a good plan.
Speaking of taking advantage, I have to say, the convention has grown. I've seen it grown because I missed the first year. Our senior correspondent, who wasn't able to be with us today, but he's okay, was there the first year. And it's grown exponentially every year. And just people have started taking ideas from what you have done to try to make their own library cons. Do you find that you would consider yourself a pioneer? Because now this hasn't been the first online convention, but this is probably going to be one of the biggest undertakings as conventions go. Do you see yourself as a pioneer now?
I like to see myself as somebody who opened the doors for new things, for things to come. I mean, if I really, to be honest with you, I really don't care if other people, do the same format. I think it's a good thing for us because, as again, like I said, for me being an artist, that involves me for more venues to go to, and hoping up for things for other artists to be able to explore as well. And I find it flattering. I don't want to take full credit, but I will say that I'm thankful for what is given to me and to proceed with this MCon for 10 strong years.
Very well said. I hope we all win. Other people can do well. It shouldn't take anything away from you.
Right.
Yeah, great.
So it's
rising tides lift all boats.
Yeah. Social media time. So Kelly, where can people find out all about the MCon, about you, hiring you, all that stuff? Do it now.
All right. Well, if you please, just go to EMcon Anime Fest on Facebook. You could just go on that's E as in East, M as in Meadow, Con, C-O-N, Anime Fest. You can look us up on Facebook. Also, you can go to our website. You can contact us through the website at eastmeadow.info. And, you could just check out the page. If you like what you see, I really hope you guys join us. And that's all I can pretty much say about that.
All right. So, Dominic, you have a question for Kelly?
No, I just wish him a lot of luck in creating like a virtual con and really trying to get sort of a virtual artist alley. I hope it's successful. I hope people have money that they can actually spend on art.
Yes,
That's
I hear you. Yeah, that is a big thing. And I'm not the only one that's doing a virtual con. I'm sure you guys all know this, and everybody's moving toward these steps. I mean, there was just a virtual con I think a week ago on Facebook, and they've been having artists for the entire weekend just talking about their artwork and basically spreading knowledge about how to do certain things for upcoming artists who wants to be in the same field. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And we also got big, large conventions. Like I think rumored that New York Comic Con is gonna be doing the same thing in October. They're gonna be setting forth into maybe doing a digital virtual convention. So I mean, everybody's preparing for this, and I just think that us being a library, being such a literature community, offering force of culture, we should also go with the trend as well and move forward and try to still reach, touch our community in these kind of ways, with these methods, I should say. So I think, shouldn't be stopping us now. We should just keep going. And
you bring up New York Comic Con, and it's already on my mind. Like, will there be one this year? And on top of that, do you really want to have it at the Javits now?
Right. Good question.
Like, I don't care like how much they scrub the Javits. Are people going to really feel comfortable going into, and I'm so glad they turned it into this makeshift hospital, but do you really want to go into this place that's been treating coronavirus for a month?
You see, that's the thing. It's going to be, even if Trump opens the gates and let the country open, it's going to take a while for us to heal from all this. And I think, and I hate to say it, I think this is going to be the new norm for a long while.
Oh yeah.
And then again, everybody's going to be doing this. Everything is going to be coming toward where it's going to be like just virtual or video chats and conferencing, things of that nature, until we actually get over this. And I find doing this makes a great beta test. So if it does come down to it, and we have to keep continuing for another year or so, we could be on top of it and be on top of our game and still offer the same quality service that we've been doing for the past few years.
God bless you.
Thank you.
So Jennifer, Jennifer, you have a final question for Kelly?
I just think that he's doing a great job and very well said. I don't really have any questions. I think you covered it.
All right. Yeah. So I think the most important thing that I always like to mention, Kelly.
Yes.
So what's the best thing about MCon?
It's free. just as you told me, Mark, I get that from you, man. I know I always forget to say that. It's free. It's free. It's free. And we've been doing this for, like I said, for the past 10 years. Yeah, of course, it's the library. It's all nonprofit. And, like I said, we got like over 4,800 patrons at the highest peak coming to the library, which Dominic had to mention that we had to rent a tent just to have the occupancy at the library for it. And
not a small tent, like a big tent.
Yes. And I have to thank also the staff for like enduring the craziness that goes on during the weekend. We still working, functioning library as all this intake, and we had a big stage in the lobby where they were doing all like same as you mentioned with the samurai, the cosplay contest, things like that. And so it's been crazy and whatnot. We did it last year through the renovation, and we were doing everything at the Somalia, New York Mall, which was previously the Source Mall. Mark, you were there.
Yes, I was.
And it was good space. I mean,
the Somalia Mall.
Yeah, the Somalia Mall, right? It was a good venue space there, and a lot of people commend me on the space. They love how it was looked, and it's a shame that we won't be able to do it this year. But I think that moving forward with this, we have to do what we got to do as humans, and just learn to adapt and be able to offer this convention to people who are still looking forward to it. But again, I'm hoping that people will be happily to be involved into this program, and I think it's going to be great. It's again, I'm not expecting a big attendance with this, but I'm hoping people will be able to take advantage of it.
And the best thing is that even because it is online, even if people don't participate that day, they can see it later, right?
We're looking in it. I'm not sure how. I mean, we could record it, yes, but again, I have to see on further details how that's going to work out. It's going to take me some time to figure things out to the fullest. Everything is not set in stone just yet, but I really am hoping that that we could still have something people could at least come back to. But I'm really hoping people could at least come in on that day to check it out and take advantage of it. I mean, why you would not want to see the things live and be able to Q&A yourself with questions and learn along with everybody else, and be able to have the instructor or voice actor to answer your questions. I mean, it's something that, like if you go to New York Comic Con, you want to go see that actor or that voice actor that you love for years to see and touch and be able to, let's not say touch, but, but
no more touching.
You know what I mean though. You know what I mean? It's nice to have something archived and you can check, but it's not the same if somebody was actually be able to come in and ask the question and then flattery be able to get their question answered, by the person they want to come and check out. But it's like I said, if you're home, you're not doing anything. It's on May 16th and then May 17th, a Saturday, Sunday. I'm looking at like a bracket between 11 to 5, and every hour on the hour have like a certain program happening. I would like to have like artists be able to put their information on the Facebook page or the event page, wherever it's given, to promote themselves. I wouldn't mind like an hour segment of variation of artists, hopefully hosted by you, Mark. You talk to them and they be able to get offer like their social media so people can follow them and gain more clientele. Hopefully get some jobs out of that. I think it's something that people really take advantage of. I mean, not wait till later, do it now. If we have the time, we're all stuck at home. We may as well take advantage of the time that we're home and be able to enjoy this great event.
All right, so forget seeing it later. Go do it now. Live. It's a live thing. Be live.
Right. That's correct.
Well said. And not to be a Pollyanna, but one silver lining of this is that you can open it up to non-locals. So instead of just the Long Islanders going, I mean, could we have guests from California and Florida and other countries? Can we do that? We're
looking into it, but that's also could be a given for like a future event as well. If this thing is successful, you never know. We could do little mini conventions throughout the year, and then have people from like Japan with an interpreter to be able to talk to them.
What you could get out of this little tragedy, which is kind of tragic, is that you can expand to other nations, other continents. That could be pretty cool.
Yes, and the funny thing is, even when we had the EMcon at the library, we didn't just get local people coming in, and I'm not talking about just the guests. I'm talking about like patrons. We had people coming from New Jersey, from Manhattan. We had people from upstate coming in, from Yonkers.
Exotic.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They it was insane. I don't know how word got around, but hey, if we could transcend this into their homes on their computer. Yes, like you said, this could be internationally known.
Yeah.
So now, Kelly, you're going to be a pioneer again for the digital conventions of the future.
I'm always trying to get to the next level, Mark. That's how I go, and that's how I like to stay.
I got faith in you.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Jen.
So we're almost out of time. So we got to do a final thought. So Dominic or Jennifer, who wants to go first?
Ladies first.
No. Was it my final thoughts? Is that where we're going here?
Yes, we're at final thought time. So what is your final thought there, Jennifer?
Final thoughts are always take care of yourself and each other. Take care of your health as always. And, you know, during this time, a lot of people are feeling helpless and they're feeling like victims, which is a terrible mentality we should never have. And I don't blame people for feeling like victims, but there's always something that we can do. So one thing that I've done that everyone can do, the health counseling, not everyone can do that. But I picked up garbage last week. I met with a friend and we picked up garbage in a parking lot because people are littering. So there's something that everyone can do. And if you can't leave the house, you could at least call someone, even if you're not that good friends with them. There are people that are getting very depressed. So there's something we can do. And I would just advise and beg everyone, just do something because there's something we can do. We're not 100% helpless.
Do something like go to the EMcon and participate in the EMcon.
There you go.
Dominic, final thought?
I want out of my house. I want out. I want to go back to normal. Climbing the walls here, man. I can't take it anymore.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you.
Kelly, final thought?
My final thought is that I'd like to thank everybody, you, Mark, Dom, Jen, everybody, the staff, my office at Public Relations at the East Meadow Public Library. Again, this would not have even been possible with EMcon Anime Fest without them. I wish everybody health and safety going on to these trial times. I hope these will get better in the near future, hopefully in the near future, and we can all move forward and just have our normal life going, if you call it normal.
The new normal. So my final thought is this. So like I said, I've known Kelly for quite some time. We've been part of the EMcon for also quite some time. It's really cool seeing it grow. And the best thing I like about the EMcon in the library is that, you know, going to so many conventions, it's a new experience because, as Kelly said, it's a working library. So you have people coming in there to get a book, and then there's a convention going on at the same time, which is something you just can't get anywhere else. So hopefully this online experience will be another step ahead, and then maybe he'll be able to incorporate the digital and the live action to make it even the biggest convention worldwide. So best luck and much continued success, Kelly.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you.
So that about does it for this week on It Came From the Radio.
Does it really?
Join us right here any week on this radio show. If you miss any part of the show,
tough.
Go to www.itcamefromradio.com. This is our archives a week or so. This will be on our YouTube page, so check us out on our YouTube page or check us out on our Facebook page. I do want to say I want to do a special shout out to the East Meadow Public Library for letting us have our 30-second live show in this situation in front of a live studio. And so I want to thank all the people who participated and who are watching this in the future. So that about does it. So we will see you next time. Have a good one.
Woohoo!
Be on the next level.
You've been listening to It Came From the Radio with Mark Torres. The views of the show's hosts and guests did not necessarily reflect that of the management, owners, or staff of the station. We now return you to your earthly scheduled broadcast.